Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, because currently we are trading inside a weekend and we are simply ranging between these two Fibonacci levels here. So we are ranging between the 0.5 level at 59.5k and the 0.618 level at about 62,000 US dollars. Now, personally, what I'm looking out for in the charts here for this weekend, as well as early next week here, is actually this big level of resistance between the 0.618 level and that 0.65 level as well at 62.7k. Now, this is what we call the Fibonacci golden pocket, and this should act as a strong level of resistance. However, if the Bitcoin price breaks above this Fibonacci golden pocket, then I think it is likely that we are going to see more bullish momentum after that. For example, reaching up to this 0.786 level at 65.6k. However, breaking below this 0.5 level would indicate that more bearish momentum is coming after that, and you could look towards this 0.382 level at 57,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. So since we are currently trading sideways, the main thing that I'm looking out for in terms of the momentum in the market here is seeing if we first break out to the upside here or we break out to the downside here. Now, taking a look at the bigger support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. First of all, right now we are trading inside a big level of resistance from 60,000 all the way up to 62.4k. So again, if you see a breakout above that 62.4k level, as well as those Fibonacci levels that I mentioned earlier, then this could indicate that we are going up to this next level of resistance to the upside, sitting between 65 all the way up to 66,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. So again, if we actually reach up to this level here, then make sure to pay attention to the price, because we can get a rejection back down from this level. Although, of course, if we get a rejection right away, trading below this 60k level here, then potentially we could be falling into this next big level here. And you may be wondering, why is this marked in white and not in the regular blue or red colors here? Well, this is because this used to be a level of resistance. However, when we broke to the upside here, we just shot straight up to this next level of resistance without first testing this as a level of support. So for now, I am just marking this in white until we actually see a confirmation that this is going to hold as a level of support if the Bitcoin price comes down to this level. Because as of right now, let's say that we get that rejection, then potentially we could just fall straight through this level here, because again, we have not confirmed it as a level of support after we broke it as a level of resistance. So make sure to pay attention to this as well. Now, just in case it wasn't completely clear, actually, in the case that we actually see a bounce from this level here, then of course I will be flipping this to blue and will be marking it as a level of support, because then we have tested this as a level of support successfully, bouncing from there once again. So just thought I would clarify that. Moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on this 3-day time frame, as you can see right here, right to the upside at about 61.6k. We have quite a lot of liquidity here. And in the case that you don't know, typically the Bitcoin price gets attracted to where there is the most liquidity on this chart. So in terms of the biggest pocket of liquidity, it is right here at 61.6k. However, what you may notice as well is that there is quite a lot of liquidity to the downside piling up as well over the last 3 days. So we have a lot of liquidity at 58k, then again at 56.5k, and still some liquidity at 54.5k. So in my personal opinion, this is not something we should completely ignore, because this could be a potential warning signal for the Bitcoin price action in the following week here. Although zooming out to the 1 month time frame, so the higher time frame here, you do see that most of the liquidity is in fact to the upside at 70.4k. So this is again potentially a level that the Bitcoin price can get attracted to long term. However, as always, it is important to understand the difference between the different time frames. On the lower time frames, it appears that there's also quite a bit of liquidity to the downside here, so that is not something you should ignore once again. But on the higher time frames, most of the liquidity is to the upside. So I do think that eventually Long term, we are going to take out this level of liquidity at about 70,000 US dollars. Now, just so there are no misunderstandings here, I do think we are going to take out this level of liquidity from 70 all the way up to 72,000 US dollars at some point, assuming that we are also going to hold this descending channel and not breaking out to the downside. Because if we start seeing confirmed candle closes below, then at least in the short term, I am expecting the Bitcoin price to move lower after that. So that is just something to keep in mind. Either way, for now, Bitcoin is simply consolidating in between these two white lines in this descending channel here on the 1-day time frame. And in my personal opinion, so long as Bitcoin is in between these two white lines, it is completely possible that we go to the bottom of the range once again, or that we go to the top of the range, which as of the time of recording is sitting between 68,000 US dollars and 52,000 US dollars as well. So on the higher time frame, those are two levels that I'm looking out for in terms of support and resistance. Lastly, moving on to the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. On Friday, we actually saw a net outflow of about $90 million. So over the last week or so, we basically saw the Bitcoin ETF investors flip-flopping, following their usual strategy of buying high and selling low. But just in general, they were taking some profits on Friday. So for now, there isn't really a clear trend in terms of inflows or outflows, but I will keep tracking this every single day to make sure that you guys are completely up to date with the crypto markets. Now, lastly, before I leave here, guys, if you want to learn how I do my analysis, I actually created a full trading course about this, about how I leverage trade in crypto. And this course is completely free. There's no upsell behind it or something like that. It is actually completely 100% free. And it is basically over an hour of educational content about how I do my technical analysis and how you can do this as well. So if this is something you are interested in, then either go to rt1m.com or click on the link in the video description. Either way, if you do end up checking out the free trading course or not, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.